You talking to me? I can't even hear you. What's going on? You're gonna get roasted? Why is that? Are you the only cadet in here? Yeah, I think you're right. What you 777, right?
How you guys like having a father?
Hey, 777. Maybe you'll be an officer today. You know.
Yeah. He was
Usually they do
great.
promotions around here.
Okay, yeah.
It was nice.
Only
Love it.
got,
Absolutely love
one train session with him yesterday, but it was pretty wrong. I think he did
Yeah.
good.
Definitely deserve it.
Yeah, it seems like he did pretty good today, so nothing bad to say.
Just fucking hanging out.
Yeah.
Got a migraine today from hell.
Damn. Hell yeah, SWAT's not taken.
How old are you, sir?
Hello.
You looking pretty. You smell good, unlike that other guy.
Yeah, I just took a shower.
See, I told him to do that too.
Good old Irish Springs.
Man, I love Irish Spring. What you talking?
So why you no use it?
He loves the idea of it. It's like when you walk by a homeless person and you think about giving them all the money in your wallet, but then you walk away feeling good about not doing it because you just thought about it. That's how he is with showers.
Damn it.
What the hell?
Okay.
Yeah.
Jesus,
Oh,
man.
Yeah, that's your
Come
second
on.
time doing it. You just did that at the door.
Is he from
Somebody give this man a breath.
I don't know. It must be.
He needs a breathalyzer.
Get
Hey,
his
Bill.
helmet back.
Wait, what happened?
Oh, no.
Someone
He just
tripped
yeeted
outside?
himself.
Oh.
Chief.
Yeah.
Before we start, I'd like to touch on that situation we had down at Meriwether.
Go ahead. We starting. I think it's everybody, right?
I think so.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
16 officers. If you're not in the meeting room, please be there.
All right. So, raise your hands if you're in that Meriwether robbery. All right. All right. Good. So I'd like to touch on that Meriwether robbery for a moment. First of all, Med was in a really bad spot. We pretty much put Med in the firing zone, which should not have happened. I think for future reference, we should probably have Med stage about a mile away, and once the scene is clear, we take any downed officers or suspects down to Med rather than Med coming to us.
Yeah, that is already standard operating procedure. I'm not sure why they were green lighted to show up.
Yeah.
Can I interject on that real quick, actually?
Go ahead.
One thing about Med is they really aren't communicating all that much as to where they're going. Like they'll be en route to an active scene and not tell us until we ask for their help when we've cleared it. So I mean, we might need to talk to them as well.
Yeah, I also like to.
Yeah.
Go up on this too.
I mean, we can hold a meeting with Med soon. regarding the Merriweather and uh, Fort Zancudo robberies and all that.
Did Matt ask if it was code 4?
Negative, I don't think so.
I had requested that Med come to that robbery, but I advised him to stage on the outside of the entrance until I was incapacitated, and then they were on scene when I was brought back.
Yeah, and be advised, if all officers go down, Med really shouldn't be rolling in, because that's a very dangerous zone for them, and you know, I would say enter at your own risk. You know, we had limited officers at the time, and I mean, it was kind of a mess. I'm not gonna lie. Anybody got anything else on that? No? Good.
Oh, well, I had a question if you.
Go ahead.
During that, you were in front of me, against the wall, and looking into the door. I felt like I should have been in a different position, but I wasn't getting any, like, information of where you wanted me to go.
Yeah, that was really miscommunication on my part.
I was thinking of running through to the back, and I think I said it once or twice, but I never got a response. I wasn't sure if I should.
I was more or less waiting for the other officers to get on scene.
Right, understand.
So that way I didn't have to repeat myself. Go ahead.
There's been like multiple instances in the past where like Med has been like right in like shooting, like there's been a shootout right in front of them, and they've staged like right there, like right on the scene. Like I don't know. I think they need to know they need to park at least like outside the scene.
Like a few street blocks out of sight, like not even relevant to the scene.
Yeah.
Like in a fucking alley somewhere with their lights off.
And that's definitely something that we're gonna bring up to Med.
Well, and on that same point, if Med shows up and we know that it's not code 4, you are to immediately instruct them to leave and to make distance. Because at any given time, they could be taken hostage, they could be caught in crossfire, any given like combination of circumstances, and it's our job to make sure that they're not in danger, even if they are not, we'll say, of mind enough to do so themselves.
But yeah, like I said, we'll get in touch with Med and kind of have a joint meeting with them.
Biggest issue is I go over all these things with them, but robbery don't happen when I train. So if they do well with everything else and robbery happen when I'm not here, it's trade-off. You want Med around, or you wait until they've experienced every single thing, which could take quite a while.
I mean, no one's saying not to
Oh
have them.
no. I'm saying I think we need you guys to make sure sometimes, when you notice there's only one or two, you speak up like he was saying. You see him at the scene, just hey, you need to go back.
Yep.
I have a question, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
If let's say we're in a situation like that kind of happened, where shit kind of hits the fan while Med's resuscitating and stuff, is there any protocol for?
You're saying, sorry.
Can you be more specific with your question?
Yeah.
So like in that scenario, we thought the scene was clear, and the suspects came back, and Med was in the middle of resuscitating officers. Is there a protocol of something that we should do specifically when that happens, or is kind of try and make sure that Med stays alive.
You know, from what I've seen, the obvious Med was way too close. They're like right up on the building, and that should not have happened.
I think, frankly, the way to avoid most of this is to stop, for lack of a better word, jerking off at the crime scenes. Get the fucking people in custody, move them off site, and then worry about getting people up.
Yeah, exactly.
I just
Right,
think
and this
that you should pick up officers and move them to Med or Meltdown. I don't think that's safe.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering too about picking up the officer's part, because I know if we're lower rank, we're not supposed to pick them up.
Right. Well, if command is on to instruct you or allow you to do so, specifically, it's probably not really ever going to be a smart idea to put Med on scene unless the situation is 100% under control and like 10 or so minutes have passed, because 9 times out of 10, these shitbags have people waiting on, like, on the edge of the scene or still inside, or they're going to come back and try to get their friends, or 100 other situations. Like, at least move it, everyone that's down and needs to be put up a little bit off scene to a spot where you're not just out in the open or something.
All right. Yeah, I just wanted to clarify, because if a hired officer is down, obviously we should probably be moving them, right?
No,
I always want to
no,
be sure
absolutely not.
Okay.
If there is not a sergeant or above conscious or on duty, then you are not to touch anybody, officer or criminal.
Okay. That's what I wanted to clarify.
Wait, so just to clarify, you said that if a suspect or officer's down, we can't touch him if command is not on?
Absolutely correct.
Oh, okay. I thought I heard Chief said that it was up to our discretion to pick him up or not.
It's sergeant and above discretion.
Oh, okay.
Unless I missed something. What do you think, Chief?
Well, I do want to say something real quick. I thought it was we could move officers, but civilians had to have approval.
Yeah, that's what I was
Oh,
understanding.
okay. Yeah, I must have gotten
Yeah.
some wires crossed.
I mean, I would say on that note, prioritize your officers. Get your officers up first, and then worry about the suspects later.
Okay, so do move officers if they're down. Do not move citizens.
Without approval, correct.
I guess on this specific topic, one more thing we could bring up is going to be vehicle positioning. From what I heard very briefly, it seemed like everyone was kind of scattered and vehicles were placed randomly. If we were to make point when arriving on scene to position vehicles in a way that could be used beneficially in case anything does go down, I think that's a good way to go about it. That way you have a safe place, so to speak, to retreat to or, bunker down at.
Would you recommend we do kind of like if there's two vehicles, like an L shape around Med, if they're just in case?
Med should be parking according to how you guys are parking.
Okay.
Furthermore, I've noticed there's a lot of chit chat from multiple officers in the middle of a situation. Whoever the highest ranking officer that arrived soonest is on scene should be most, like, I'd say 90% of the airspace on the radio at that time. People get excitable and scattered and don't know where to go and so forth. We really gotta clean that up so we can just be quick, clear, and to the point when we're trying to accomplish something on the scene. And that's not just officers not doing something properly, that's us as command not taking charge enough as well. not even
Um,
really a complaint point, to be honest. I'm just figured we'd touch base on that.
To help with that, can we start having whoever's on scene say, your badge number taking command?
Absolutely. Yep.
So just so that everybody's aware.
Yep. Before you guys go randomly spouting that, though, just double check that you are the highest ranking officer on scene. If you can. Just reference your little roster and then go for it.
10-4.
And I don't want it to just be like automatically whoever's fucking highest ranking. I mean, obviously let other people do their jobs as well, but you are in control of saying who's in control per se.
Yeah.
Right. Oftentimes, if I'm riding along with someone or they show up on scene, I'll delegate to them. 283, you got this. Run it, and so forth. So.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're not comfortable taking command, over the situation, let somebody of the higher ranking or somebody that is a supervisor or higher take command.
We all clear about this situation? I didn't know this was on the agenda. Well, I mean, obviously it wasn't planned. So, are we good on this Merryweather topic?
Yeah.
Yep.
I think we're pretty much good on it.
Everybody, make sure your legs don't fall asleep.
Okay.
Jeez.
What
Oh.
the
Sniper
shit?
Wonderful.
That's what snipers sound like?
Was
Yeah,
it a
that's
sniper?
That sounded like
PTSD
a
from last
tanker
time.
exploding.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like.
Yeah, I got PTSD from that last time.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone down.
Yeah, I remember.
Oh my god.
I'm here.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh,
Faded.
boy.
Oh.
I'm good. Sorry, I'm late.
They got something on the door.
What an entrance.
Holy moly.
There's got to be something on that door, right?
Nah, I think if you just slow down a little bit, that won't
Yeah,
happen.
he came flying through that door.
Cadet Grimes, sorry I'm late.
That's what that explosion was. Him
Chief, was
flying
there
in
anything
this-
specifically you wanted to address this evening?
I got a couple things. Let's start randomly. First off, crossfire. If you have an active firearm out and you are pointing it at somebody, please watch your fucking crossfire. This means everybody, fucking civilians, PD, little fucking puppies, random babies they're calling around. Be careful. Everything in the line of sight is, you plan on shooting, you need to be clear, okay? Don't be shooting while people are running around in front of you. Just watch your crossfire. Fucking, I can't heed that enough. Just when you're firing your deadly weapon at somebody, just be 100% certain that your target is the only thing in your sights.
Right.
Sound good?
Including what's behind them.
Yes, including what's behind them.
And
Very, very far behind them.
I'm gonna tell you, local lives matter. Okay. Fucking use your brains. Fucking spraying an M4 into the middle of a fucking crowded city street. Not smart. Not good.
Yes. Y'all been good this week for the most part, I guess. There's still a couple complaints. We had 2 kid dads, I believe they got fired, maybe 1. Just want to reiterate the whole no fucking dirty cops shit. If you plan on corrupting my police department, you're gonna lose more than your job. Also, this being said, if you are an officer on staff, you should be upholding the law when you have a badge on, as well as having your badge off. Say you go off duty, you should be following fucking traffic regulations. Don't be getting into trouble, hanging out with the wrong people. You're still an officer. Can't have you out fucking selling meth after you go home, right? Don't shoot unless you get shot at. I'm gonna tell you this every fucking meeting we ever have. Please do not discharge your firearm unless you are in immediate threat for your life. Someone shooting at you or trying to end your existence in any way is the only time you should be opening fire. Sounds good?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Like, does it really sound good? Because we get weekly complaints about this.
To
And
clarify,
then everyone wants to say, I didn't hear the meeting. Oh, I didn't know. Like, we really got to be on top of this, as well as not using excessive force. I'm just going to go ahead and say I think that the pump shotguns and the M4s are entirely too casual for us currently. I don't think I very fucking rarely see an officer even using a Glock at this point, or a taser. It's always the shotgun or the M4. So you guys should be aware that even if you only use them in the proper situation, the fact that you're even brandishing basically has a high chance of escalating the situation to begin with before anything even pops off. You're fucking, I mean, we're not the military police, okay?
Yeah, it's too fucking casual. Like, who shows up to a police meeting with a branching and M4 on their back? Just like out of curiosity, you think we're gonna be like attacked or something?
I
This is
didn't
a
have
high-stress
time to put it away.
Yeah.
But
okay, well, you're not the only one.
I was at that Merriweather thing.
Okay, fair enough. I was not.
On that same topic, not to
It should be like
hijack.
secured in your trunk. You shouldn't have it out unless
Yeah.
the situation calls for it, such as Merriweather robbery.
And also, a lot of the M4s and the tasers, UV flashlight, fucking everything basically, is making it into the streets. You guys are to report every fucking time that a weapon comes up missing from your trunk. Genuinely, I'm very much so considering putting a fucking like little logbook on the armory. So every time you take it out, it's gonna log it. And if you don't put it back in, and at the end of the month you haven't reported every fucking M4 you've lost, there's gonna be trouble. Because, yep.
Can there be a formal logbook somewhere where we could submit a lost report when people aren't around? I said, can there be a formal logbook that we
you
can?
are not Wilson.
Oh, my bad.
Wilson's talking.
So the guys yesterday that were 10 different charges of attempted murder of an LAO. Every single time they had police issued combat pistols. I don't know where they're getting them, but that's how bad it is. Is they have a stash of them, and those are our weapons.
Did 004 just poof for you guys?
Yeah.
Yep.
Stretch y'all's legs. That's
Tenfold.
why some of y'all didn't stretch them earlier. Can I? Well, then never mind.
To answer your question regarding the formal spot to put that, I will accommodate that specifically this evening after the meeting. It'll be done right away.
I have a clarification on that fear of life earlier, or a question rather. Would someone ramming your vehicle while you're in the car, or at least getting into the car, be considered grounds for
lethal force? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lethal is deadly fucking weapon.
I do have something to clarify with that. The law states that the judicious use of force would be only authorized if you are in danger of death or great bodily harm, be it somebody with a gun, somebody with a bat, somebody with a knife. But if somebody's beating the shit out of you with their fists, that's not grounds for deadly force.
But a car is.
A car would be, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A car is a
I was saying, that's what-
7,000 pound bullet.
That's what I'm saying. That's what the discussion was.
Yes.
Right. I was clarifying if you're in your vehicle and they try and ram you.
Do not shoot them
assume
from
that's
your
a
car.
Yeah, you step out the vehicle and if
Not-
they
not from the
still
car.
try to hit you, do what you gotta do. I'm guessing.
I just meant fully in the vehicle, and then you get out of your car, or whatever. Just the fact of them ramming you with their car into while you're in your car.
I'll probably put my seatbelt on. If you get out, they just run you over. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. Just wondering.
So that specific situation, call for backup. Try to keep yourself safe.
Got it. Thank.
Only had one more pointer. It's gonna be fucking radio chatter. For the love of all that is fucking good, please hit your fucking radio button and then like wait a second and speak clearly into your fucking radio and then give it
Slowly.
an extra second before you turn it off.
Same with your voice box sometimes too.
Any cutting off of codes or anything. The ABCs of the radio. It's accurate, brief, and clear. Just figure out what you're gonna say, fucking say it, and then that's it. I don't need everyone fucking screaming, "Oh my god, we're getting shot at" over the radio, and me having to like decipher the first and last end of the sentence.
Yep, hard agree on that.
Yeah.
Can I talk about something?
For it.
All right. And is anyone here familiar with individual accountability? Anyone at all have any idea as to what that might mean?
It's always your fault, right?
Kinda.
You're accountable for your actions.
Individual level accountability involves the conduct of police officers with respect to lawful, respectful, and equal treatment of citizens. Anybody have any idea as to what that might mean?
Not showing any
discrimination?
bias.
It means we are not above citizens. We are to follow the same laws that they are. They are not our fucking toys or playthings. We cannot just cuff them, fucking detain them, blah, 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 without probable cause or reasonable suspicion. God, I don't even want to ask this one. Can anybody step up into the middle of the room and tell me what reasonable suspicion or probable cause is?
Oh shit!
Really?
That was
Okay, you're being detained.
I was just trying to give you guys an example. That's
reasonable cause. Yeah.
That's reasonable cause right there. I punched him in the face, but it doesn't pertain to everything though.
Just gonna,
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do. 055,
did we-
step to the middle of the room.
I was just gonna say it, but whatever.
Oh, someone step forth.
I mean, what are we just asking? What probable cause is?
Yeah, I want someone to. You can Google it. Feel free.
Well, probable cause would just be, I guess you basically believe that someone is about to commit a crime or just committed a crime or something in the lines of those.
That is not probable cause, man.
Yeah, that's not probable cause, really. I mean, you're on the right track, but
Okay, well,
you're
let's,
close.
let's take one step back. When is it okay to handcuff someone?
If you were detaining them
detaining
or
them.
arresting them.
Incorrect.
When you have
if they've committed a crime.
No, because you could just be questioning for your own safety.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you have fear of any harm or fear of life.
Okay, so to
I
be
thought
clear
the
here,
probable cause was just having enough
Oh, what?
reasonable suspicion, just believing that someone's about to commit a crime or about to commit a crime. I mean,
probable cause is when you have enough factual information or otherwise to lawfully obtain a warrant for someone's arrest. Okay, so basically, it's gonna be the segue for you making an arrest based on not catching them in the act. Okay, only if you plan on making an arrest. To my understanding, I'm really trying not to speak out of my ass here. We shouldn't be handcuffing every person that we detain. We can detain people without handcuffing them. There is a difference between arrest and detain. I assume that basically everyone knows that. Right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
10-4.
Mm-hmm.
So in a situation where you roll up and people are pulling off at a shots fired call, we didn't see it happen, so we're gonna detain them. If we're in fear of being shot or something, we should be cuffing them. Or is that incorrect?
That would be reasonable suspicion.
Yeah.
Reasonable suspicion is reason to believe that a crime is or has or will be committed.
Yeah, also point on that you should be code 5 in that vehicle.
Yeah.
For officer safety.
Oh, we did. This is a situation from yesterday.
Okay.
But we did cuff them after, and they complained the entire fucking time.
Yeah, it's fine. People are not a fan of getting handcuffs on their wrists.
Yeah. Reasonable suspicion has been defined by the United States Supreme Court as the sort of common sense conclusion about human behavior upon which practical people are entitled to rely. Further, it has defined reasonable suspicion as requiring only something more than an unarticulated hunch. It requires facts or circumstances that give rise to more than a bare, imaginary, or purely conjectural suspicion. That means basically the situation that you just described, that would be valid, reasonable suspicion. Whereas probable cause is an entirely different ballpark, and I don't think we as a unit, not anyone specifically, is operating on either two of these premises accurately or fairly. Probable cause means that a reasonable person would believe that a crime was in the process of being committed, had been committed, or was going to be committed. We need to try to rely on these two separate, respectively. We need to rely on them, and we need to try to gauge our reactions, how we handle ourselves, and how we approach, speak, and behave towards civilians based on these two separate things. It's too often cuff, charge, and then be done with it. We don't seem to be doing much legwork in the means of actually investigating what these people have done. While it may be fucking common sense that, okay, well, this guy was running from the area, he's a known criminal, and blah, blah, blah. He's probably the one who just robbed that store. We can't just charge him with.
Yeah, and to the same extent, the situation yesterday, the people that we detained, we couldn't prove them that they did anything, so they got let go.
Right, yeah, I wasn't, sorry if it sounded like I was referring to that situation. I don't know anything about that.
I'm just giving an example. I don't think you were attacking me.
Oh, okay. I'm guilty of this as much as everyone else. In fact, probably the only guy here who doesn't fuck up is going to be Chief on a regular basis. He's seems to take his time with things, so. But obviously it's hectic out there. We get shit bagged all day. Fucking ran over, kidnapped, murdered, robbed, fucking the whole 9 yards. But I just think we really need to work on it. Yeah, I got knocked off my bike 3 times yesterday. I was about to quit the fucking force. I'm not even lying.
I think I got hit 3 times by a car today, in one fucking scene.
All right.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that's great.
So pop quiz: if you have reasonable suspicion, do you have probable cause?
Nope.
No.
No.
I want to touch down on this a little bit more before we completely exit the topic. And I am reading from a script here because I want it to be explicitly clear. That way there's no gray area. Legal repercussions of reasonable suspicion. If an officer has reasonable suspicion in a situation, he may frisk or detain the suspect briefly. Reasonable suspicion does not allow for the searching of a person or a vehicle unless the person happens to be on school property. Reasonable suspicion is not enough for an arrest or a search warrant.
To that point, I would like to say a traffic stop for speeding would be considered being detained. That's not reasonable suspicion, or that's not reasonable grounds for you to search their vehicle or search their person. It's just you detaining them so you can write them a traffic ticket.
Unless, of course, it's a code 5.
Yes.
Just to make things clear, say if you walk up to a vehicle in a 38, you have the smell of weed, that would be probable cause for a search, correct?
Let me reference since I want to be sure. I'm no
I'm
fucking
pretty
expert.
sure, yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Because
In
that would
California?
be. Yes, that
gonna
would be
say-
operate. Yes, because it would be operating under the influence.
Yeah.
No, okay, so wrong off the
No?
bat, I guess. Again, like I had stated, it requires requiring only something more, so it has to be more than a hunch. It requires facts or circumstances that give rise to more than a bare imaginary or purely conjectural suspicion. So you getting a smell in your nose would fall under that, conjectural category. So no, it's not. Now, if we get a canine out there, or you maybe ask the right questions and they slip up, or etc., that would be premise for that to take place. But under reasonable suspicion, no, you cannot operate on that on smell.
Okay, just making sure.
Just to clarify for any cadets, and I'll be honest, me, code 5 in this circumstance would be what exactly? Because it's
felony
not
Felony stop.
Okay, thank you.
Stolen vehicle, wanted felon, arrest of someone that is wanted, but it could be not their vehicle. Excuse me, not the person that owns the vehicle. It goes. This has a wide range.
I do have a question on this topic as well. I know in the last meeting we were talking about having to or wanting to keep more track of felons with firearms, and I think it was a couple days ago I did a 38, and one of the passengers of the vehicle was a known felon. I've caught him multiple times with illegal firearms on probation, and I searched him because, from my perspective, he is known to not follow his probation, and he was again found with a gun. So was that technically an illegal search, or would that be justifiable?
My understanding of the law in that is that a felon who has had their license revoked for a certain period of time and etc. is subject to search in those situations, but I might be wrong.
Anytime that you
know.
are stopping a felon, it is a felony stop. As far as we're actively going to treat it.
Right, but we're saying searching them even just on a regular stop.
They're a felon.
They're subject to that,
that's-
100%.
I'm about to say that's
Yeah,
automatically reasonable suspicion.
When you're a
But
felon, you give up certain rights.
Yeah, make sure you're checking the reports though. Just because they've had a criminal record, if it's past the 7 days, we can't
Yeah.
be searching them like that. You need to make sure that it's within the 7 days, because then at that point it would be harassment.
And yeah, in that specific situation, I had specifically myself put the notation in their profile that their driver's license and their firearms license has been suspended on that date. It was put into the notes, so I didn't have to read through the reports to find it. But that was also just that was a red light violation that I pulled him over for.
To kind of touch on that, it's a little off mark here. Has anybody has reached out to the DMV? Maybe they can get the correct type of records. That way it doesn't come back as someone else. Does that make sense? Like for vehicles and stuff.
As their cousin.
Yeah, it's like their cousin. Is there a way?
Everyone is guilty of this in one way or another. It's not really a negative thing per se. I will say that if they can't prove to you that they're lawfully borrowing the vehicle, then just consider it stolen. I don't care if it's their cousin's car or not. That's not an excuse. I hate hearing that, and yeah.
Totally agree with that.
Well,
It's
I don't mean
paperwork or no dice.
Yeah, I didn't mean
So-
it as in a cousin thing. I mean,
No, I gotcha. No, I know exactly what you mean, and I'm telling you, no.
He's talking about running the plates.
Yeah, no, I meant
So-
no. I just meant like as in a criminal basis. Because I had an instance where the DMV messed up and someone got my information, and I actually had a warrant put out for my arrest for that. And
Yeah, I've had the same situation take place, and
Okay.
that's a great segue to the next fucking point I want to drive home.
Okay.
Stop putting warrants out based on vehicle plates alone. Every fucking day, I get 8 or 9 people fucking emailing me talking about, oh, I have a warrant, but I wasn't even here. Blah, blah, blah. Look, I'm going to tell you guys now, lawyers are coming into the city soon, and officers that take the time to brush up on legality, terms, laws, etc., they're the ones going to be getting promotions, because currently a lot of our arrests right now, frankly, are unjustifiable and unlawful. We need to actually be able to place someone at the scene of the crime, and we have to be able to do so in a way that lines up with them committing the crime. A vehicle plate is not enough. A shell casing is not enough. DNA is more than certainly enough to put them at the scene, but even then, we still got to do more legwork to determine that they committed the crime that they are being accused of. This is a problem. This is a big problem. And when lawyers come to the city, we're gonna be in fucking lawsuit after lawsuit if we don't get our shit together. I am just as guilty of this as anyone else, so I'm not trying to bitch, but we have to clean our shit up. We absolutely have to clean our shit up. Furthermore, on somewhat of the same topic, please, unless instructed otherwise, do not impound vehicles before we're able to collect evidence. Same thing with code 4ing a scene. That scene is not code 4 until you've collected every fucking little lint, every little belly button lint that was on the fucking ground in the area. Run your flashlights around, check. If there was a vehicle in the area that looks to be stolen or was obviously involved, run it for prints. Come on, like we got to get better.
And on that note, if you have reports of a stolen vehicle and you did not see that criminal steal that vehicle, that is not justified for GTA.
Well, you mean if they're caught in the vehicle, or what do you mean?
If you did not catch them actually getting into that vehicle.
Chief is probably gonna be the tiebreaker here. This possession of the stolen vehicle. I've personally, in another life, been charged for receiving stolen property, and yeah, possession of stolen property, so forth.
Yeah, but GTA and possession of stolen motor vehicle are separate charges.
Should we treat them as the same?
Well, possession is 9/10 of the law, so.
Right.
Can we get more charges added?
Yeah, we are getting every charge added.
Yeah. Fleeing and looting for sure, because that
Yeah.
seems to happen a lot.
There's a lot of too generic
It's going to be
charges.
like the most of like the penal codes of California. So I mean, there's a lot more laws to break. This would be like a lot more paperwork to do.
Yep.
It's going to be a whole new world.
It's gonna take a hot fucking minute to process someone. I'm just gonna tell you guys that now.
We do plan on making the penal codes public. So you're probably gonna get a couple fucking Karens going over penal code numbers with you. So just do clarify to people before you charge them with what they're being charged with. You don't have to give them the fucking penal code number. Just make sure that they are aware of the charges they're receiving.
Yep.
I just want
one second. I was gonna say, given we're gonna be trying to clean up our act, I mean, I think in general we've improved a lot and we're at a very good point. So all of the problems seem to come from the newer officers, which is natural. Doesn't make it okay, but it's not surprising. 004 and myself will be brushing up on things, and maybe once a week we can host classes at the PD to help get everybody on the same page with stuff. This will be voluntary, although highly recommended. And of course, if you guys are willing to maybe brush up on California codes in your free time, maybe just like 30 minutes per day you're in the city or something, obviously that's going to get you really far. A lot of you guys are fucking nailing it on like reasonable force. Your codes are fucking great. Like, if anyone takes that extra mile, command will 100% notice, and it will do you well in your career as a trooper for San Andreas.
I wanted to add up on that for any cadets or people who are not 100% sure what a felony stop is. The manual 100% easily lays out what should be the process, because there's a few things in here that even I've read this, and there's a few things in here that completely slipped my mind that I just reread again, and it 100%
313
tells you exactly.
Please read your SOPs. I feel like no one has a job here if they haven't read them.
Agreed.
I have. I will say there are some things that aren't there that I've never seen. I went through all the info on the emails and whatnot, but the stuff like sergeants not carrying people, or not officers below sergeant not carrying people, stuff like that. There's some things missing that I wasn't informed on. I'm sure others weren't as well.
You might need a cough, by the way.
In addition to that, I do want to comment, maybe we could consider like a field operations guide for references on how to operate equipment and muscles and stuff like that too. And in what scenarios to use it.
That would be great, actually.
I will say in that regard, if anyone wants to take the initiative to do so, out of my 401k, I will personally reimburse them for their time. Myself, Chief 004 and 283 are very busy. Yeah, so I'm just going to throw that out there. It's me taking the lazy way for sure. But anyone who wants monetary gain, well, I'll pay you to help with that.
I'd volunteer if you'd let me.
I'm going to go with the most experienced officer that would like to contribute.
Okay.
Wait.
You know, anyone feel free to fill it out. Fucking put it on my desk, all right?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
There you go.
That worked.
Another thing I want to touch down on regarding things that are not written down currently in stone. If you are responding to the prison, okay, and let's take this one step at a time and be logical. You're going into an enclosed building full of murderous fucking drug selling gangbangers that try to kill cops, and so do not take live firearms into the prison. You can take your taser, you can take a beanbag shotgun. At any point, if you are compromised within the prison, you have just put a fucking rifle or a pistol into a criminal's hand. Furthermore, in and out. Don't fucking, like, if you go in to help Med get someone up, just take them into an enclosed area, lock the door, get them resuscitated, leave them cuffed, and then just leave. Leave. Don't hang out. Don't turn it into some fucking big ordeal where you're fighting off 11 inmates because you put yourself in a dumb situation. Value your life. Value Med's life. Value the prisoners' lives. Don't take a fucking live weapon into the prison. Put it in your trunk before you come in. Go with non-lethal. End of story. There's no situation short of like a fucking militant uprising inside the prison that will ever justify you taking a live firearm into that building again.
Yeah. Also, just to make things easier, it does help to just have everyone fucking detained. Have everyone drop their knees, hands behind their heads before you even step foot in there. I need the prison code for it. I don't need prisoners hiding in the fucking corner with a shank waiting for all the cops to come in with their guns. Like, everyone needs to be detained. If they don't want to get on their knees, you fucking beanbag them and arrest them.
Hard agree. Don't fucking wave an M4 in their face and tell them that you're gonna shoot them if they don't listen to you.
Yeah, fucking tase them, beanbag them, do whatever you have to do, but that they're in your house and you're not there on their fucking time.
Also, for some of you that don't know, the cuffs will eventually fall off too, so don't let them give you that bullshit.
Yeah, if you feel it's safer to leave them in cuffs instead of uncuffing them before you leave, this should be clarified with I would say, command. I don't
Furthermore,
want it
you
to be a normal thing, but there are certain situations where it is deemed necessary for officer safety just to keep the inmates detained until they can fucking wiggle out. Because yeah, it's a bunch of murderers, gangbangers in there, and honestly, they go to prison and they want one thing, and that's to get the fuck out of prison. If that involves stabbing somebody to get med inside, anything they have to do.
Furthermore, you can always uncuff them safely through the chain link fence with, while putting no one at risk. So, come on.
Common sense.
You shouldn't have prisoners uncuffed and you walking through the doors. The only time that would happen is when they're when you're first coming in initially.
Right.
But definitely control the situation. Fucking detain all the inmates.
Don't go alone if you can help it.
Yeah, please call for backup. Don't go into the prison like fucking Rambo trying to control a bunch of prisoners.
And to touch back down on just one more time, you should never be the one escalating force, okay? Don't show up pre-cocked. I mean, unless it's like Merryweather or the military base, sure, logically. But fucking use a pistol, man. Use a taser. You see that they got something bigger, then do it. If you're severely outnumbered, then upstep it. Don't fucking start with M4s. Don't start with the assault SMG. Like, honestly, the most powerful weapon in the arsenal right now is that shotgun.
Question about that.
Yeah.
Are officers
No.
allowed to use those? Okay.
Unless instructed by a sergeant or above, explicitly, no.
I actually had a question about that too. I noticed that some officers actually have M4s. Are they able to have them? I thought it was shotguns only.
I 100%, from my personal opinion, which is not relevant here because 013 calls the shots, I don't think officers should have access to M4s unless they're fucking specifically instructed to by sergeants or above to carry them. But that's just me. That is not currently the situation, however.
I think going forward, we should 013. Let me know if you agree with this. I think going forward, officers need to ask for permission to pull those first. 100%. Like, am I clear on that?
Yes, sir.
Is there?
What? No. I mean, that's something me, 283004, and 013 are going to speak about in private. We will touch back on there will be an announcement 15 minutes after the fucking meeting ends, okay? One way or the other.
Does this go for officers too as well?
Yes, anyone below sergeant is fundamentally, if you're still within those two ranks, it's just because we don't feel that you have enough experience to really fully exercise accurate discretion on what should and shouldn't be taking place. That comes with time and experience, and naturally you will progress through the ranks, assuming you are of the right state of mind for someone to be in control. This is not belittling or trivializing your positions, because you are the furthest thing from trivial. It's more so just we have to maintain certain standards for certain ranks, otherwise we fall into chaos, which a little bit more often than should be taking place is the case.
Holding those ranks comes with a big responsibility.
Can I interject when I get a second?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way that we can put a higher officer rank in between officer 2 and sergeant, something like senior officer?
That would be
way...
officer class 2.
Okay.
We have a lot of empty spots in higher up positions. We're just waiting for people to continue down the right path or to correct to the right path to move them. I.e., we do have a couple of officers right now that will be, assuming they continue on the same path and mindset, progressing to sergeant in a short amount of time. But, we just have to make sure. So, again, there are tons of empty ranks to fill. And currently the ranks that we have are the ranks that we're going to be using.
Simple.
I have something you might want to clarify. The proper time to use the charge.
What do you mean?
The scenarios when we should be and should not be using the tackle.
Every scenario. If someone is fleeing from you, disobeying a lawful command, obstructing justice, so forth, it's almost always appropriate. Unless, of course, you do not have reason to assault them, which kind of touches back down on the individual accountability I was speaking of. We're going to start holding people responsible for what they do. If you wrongfully shoot someone, you're liable to fucking catch charges for that. You are not above the law just as much as a civilian. So, but back to the specific question. Tackle anytime it's appropriate. If they're disobeying a lawful command in a way that's putting someone at risk, or they're resisting arrest, or so forth, I mean, unless you have a warrant or reasonable suspicion, they don't have to talk to you. They don't have to fucking, unless you've specifically caught them breaking the law or have proof that they're doing so or reasonable suspicion that they're doing so, they do not have to necessarily, sit here and deal with you.
But yeah, tackle the shit out of people.
Yeah,
unless
100%.
they're actively shooting a firearm at you, I would suggest valuing your life. But other than that, if someone's resisting in any way, tackling them is the easiest way to take control of the situation.
And then the specific situation that 013 just referenced, before long, I'd say within the coming 2 or 3 weeks, chances are we will be offering training for weapon disarming. So keep that on the back of your mind.
Yeah, I want that training.
Mm-hmm.
004 is really good at that.
Yeah, bet.
I just tackle.
2 to the body, 1 to the head, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of 004, I don't know if you have anything specifically in mind, but I would love for you to go through your motions and bring anything up that you can think of.
I do want to do more active training. This involves Air 1, fucking K9, and Moto. Air 1's like a fucking 4-course dinner, and it's a lot.
I'll be honest, Chief, I tried yesterday to do it by myself, and I just got really pissed off.
It's not easy.
It should actually be a 2-person thing, to be honest.
No, I mean, 013 nails it. I'm super impressed.
It's hard with 2 people. I don't know. I don't want to say whatever. I'm fucking the best Air 1 ever, but I don't know. Maybe what?
It just takes practice.
Yeah,
you would think
a lot of it.
Being co-pilot and controlling that cam would be easier, and it's really not.
It is kind of hard because when you're in
Can't
the camera,
tell.
you're controlling the helicopters. I don't know.
It's hard to tell the other person what you're looking at. 013 and I were trying it, and I couldn't tell what he was looking at, so I'd have to get out of the camera, find it, and then go back, and by then it's too late. They're already taken off or something.
Very disorienting.
But I do like the idea of the massive training sessions, like we attempted to do last week with the cadets. That was good, but obviously more especially for K9s, and I guess we do with Moto as well.
Yeah, I currently feel that K9s are severely underutilized.
Yeah.
I felt that we should do some tactical training, as in terms of example like Mayweather and stuff like that, of where we should be positioned.
To be frank, 313, you forewent the last training day, and also you are currently the least active officer on the roster, to the point of you were almost subject to dismissal. So I think you should maybe get the fundamentals in more so and move out of cadet before you worry about other things.
I already.
Yeah, just stop talking, bro.
Oh, you were promoted. Okay. Well, either way, get your activity up, please. For real, you're skimming. You're more than skimming.
I plan
yeah,
on.
yeah, just don't say anything.
Yeah, and this goes for everybody. We are actively watching hours. We're cutting inactive officers. I have a list of fucking people more than willing to take your jobs. Unfortunately, it seems that a lot of people are replaceable. I don't want to sound like an asshole, but it's the fucking sick truth. There's a lot of people that actively want training that aren't getting accepted at this time. I do have like fucking 26, or was it like 30 fucking officers? That's not even counting cadets. It's a lot of people to it's a lot of bullshit.
Just think about where you guys want to be a month from now, 2 months from now, 3 months from now. Do you want to be fucking shit bags digging through dumpsters on the side of the road? Do you want to be fucking slinging crack because you can't afford to keep food on the table? Or do you want to be a seasoned fucking officer or sergeant or commander or captain who fucking makes hella salary, drives a nice fucking car, has a nice house? Like, come on. You guys got it made right now. And I'd say 95% of you go above and beyond to the best of your abilities. So,
Yeah, and you guys really do have it made. I mean, we plan on not fucking babying cadets as much. We've kind of been, trying to get an active roster, filling out the cracks. But I mean, we do plan on, having like a proper training academy, not just letting off or cadets out with on bike patrol with fucking tasers and shit.
yeah.
Also, if you're vacant for longer than a week and you have not advised high command of your vacancy, don't be surprised if you're removed.
And that's not even a flex type deal. We realize that everyone has the brains that they need to focus on, okay? It's not more so we're shitting on you by saying that. It's just, do us the courtesy of giving us the heads up so we don't just think that you fucked off or lost interest. It's really not that deep. Just, let us, hey, brains busy for a bit, and it'll be okay, cool, understandable, no questions asked.
Yeah, it's like obviously like the issues in your head come for this. So if you do have something important, feel free to it's just communication. Like just can't have unactive officers.
Just
step
courtesy
around
is
the
letting us know.
place. Yeah. But we are still in the process of cleaning up the cobwebs. This includes inactive officers as well as officers with inactive brains. If that makes sense.
That could be taken a couple ways.
Yeah,
I was about to say.
Definitely.
In that specific regard, the very specific regard, keep in mind that the sheriff's department has been abolished and we will be reabsorbing them. Most of these guys were active officers before most of you guys. Doesn't mean that they're better or more experienced, but there probably will be an adjustment period because, well, the air in Sandy Shores isn't so fucking clean, and the water's not either. Sorry, I have to get at least one stab at the sheriffs a day. So
That being said, also, should we try to expand more northward now?
That covers it.
Absolutely. If we have enough officers on duty, then we will more or less be assigning, like, hey, 283, go up north for a bit, patrol up there, so
Yeah,
forth.
I mean, we are active state police. That this includes the whole state.
Quite frankly, I really enjoy patrolling up north.
As for
Same here.
places not in the state, for instance, we had multiple vehicle thefts on the island today. Just to clarify, that is a different country. We do not enforce their laws. We do occasionally get warrants to go raid their drug labs, but we shouldn't be like actively going there for patrol or anything, or calls or reports.
Mm-hmm. And on that note as well, sorry to interject really quickly. in the near future, we will be opening up a sect of the troopers. It will be fundamentally Coast Guard, at which point, for a certain amount of time per week, people will be allowed to boat patrol in between the mainland and the island to our southeast. We will have. I'm going to tell you guys now. You're going to have to be fucking A to even get recruited into this, and it will still not be a primary function of your job. Okay, so if that's something that you're interested in, make sure that you're 150 fucking % on the ball about every other one of your duties. All right, sorry, Chief.
No, you're good. We have a problem with drugs in the city, and they are being funneled from the island. So there are many active drug runs being, we got fucking. It's just a dump truck full of fucking drugs coming off the island that we need to try to slow down, if not completely stop. We do get active warrant to go raid the island every now and again. And I think that time is coming up here pretty soon, so we haven't done in a minute.
Yeah, we need more Air One for that reason in particular, because to be honest, it's kind of a stressful and time-consuming ordeal to go over there and deal with this shit. Okay, and the more of you that get Air One certified and we feel that are competent in doing Air One, the more often we can fucking go over there, knock their fucking doors in, and take their drugs. Mind you, it's never a small bust. Even getting into one warehouse over there, it's like 300 grand, 500 grand worth of drugs.
Yeah, and I know last time we went, we had something happen and we had to all leave. We weren't even done. So I mean, we definitely need to go clean up down there ASAP. Questions, comments, concerns?
Literally anything.
Just an overall comment. Everybody just needs to kind of slow down a bit because everybody's brain races 100 miles an hour once you get onto a call, and then just slow down, notice everything that's going on, and take action.
Yeah. And I've said this before too. You don't have to respond to every single call.
Yeah,
there's more of us out there that are capable of doing it. You don't got to race to the next call every time it comes up.
And if you are by yourself, it is your discretion which calls you want to prioritize. There's carjacking and somebody got shot up the street, you should probably go to the shooting.
But also, in that regard, there are certain calls that take priority over mostly everything, excluding when you're alone, at which point you do need to value your existence, and maybe it's not so smart to take that call. It's going to be any cabin robbery, military base, liquor store, tractor supply, phone store. What do we got here? Humane Labs and Life Invader. There may be one or two. Ace Liquor up in Sandy Shores. These calls take priority. These spots have high-grade goods or likewise, and we do not want those getting out into the streets. So just try to keep that in mind.
Do you want to set a number on the number of officers that should respond to those? If
initially it's going to be 4, excluding Merriweather and Zancudo, at which point, whatever the fuck we have available.
Right.
Also, I know it was already touched on, but lock your doors, please. There's 2 vehicles downstairs right now. I'm not exactly gonna put their names out there, but I know exactly who both of your vehicles are. I ran your plates. They are unlocked. It does not matter if they're inside a PD, outside on the streets. Lock your vehicles.
Hospital, fucking PD,
traffic stop,
gas pump.
Yeah, like anything. Leave your car, lock your car.
What do you guys think is more inconvenient? Fucking locking your door or chasing someone on foot when they steal your fucking car and make you look like an idiot?
or having to report to one of the higher ups that you lost your M4 shotgun.
Right.
B.
And I am serious about what I stated earlier. If you guys aren't if the numbers don't line up with the M4s that are coming up missing, and people aren't reporting them coming up missing, you're gonna lose your privilege to fucking carry them. And I doubt any of y'all want to be rocking a fucking 9mm when we show up to fucking raid a drug lab and we got 4 fucking goons with fucking AK-47s, right? No, don't think so.
One last thing, and this is kind of sidebar. I made a request for some tactical items in the general city area. Do you think it would be possible to get something like tear gas grenades to kind of disorient people that are
Tear
held
gas,
up?
smoke grenades, road flares, and a few other items are going to be appearing in the armory within the next week or so.
Okay.
And touching on that, you got to think all this shit's great, okay? But I can't wait to go to a fucking robbery when I get tear gassed by the fucking goddamn people who leave their goddamn trunks unlocked and all the shit taken out of it.
Yup.
And now we got fucking more tear gas on this fucking streets with road flares and fucking whatever else we have in our arsenal of fucking trunks. This is just like more police grade things out on the streets that need to be properly secured.
And reported if stolen.
Yep, because I will say there was a point in time where this department we disallowed people carrying anything like that in their vehicle or on their person. They were allowed to take them out for specific reasons, and it was to combat exactly what we're dealing with now. I frankly wouldn't be hurt at all if we went back to that system. So if you guys want to have the convenience and be able to rightfully defend yourselves in the best way possible, then I suggest that you really stay on top of the door locking. We've touched down on this on literally every fucking meeting that we've ever had, and it still continues to be a problem.
I do have one quick thing to say on the vehicle locking. I've noticed, and I probably have video evidence of this, but there's been a couple occasions where I am more than 100% sure that I have locked my vehicle, and granted, it was just for a short period of time, getting gas or walking into a grocery store or something, and I come back out and my vehicle is still unlocked. Not sure if there's anything I can do about that, but I mean, other than just locking my vehicle every time I do get in and out of it.
I've actually noticed that too.
Same. I locked my truck 100%, or Tahoe, sorry. I locked it 100%. Have the footage of walk out and forward stall.
How the fuck people get this to happen for them and never want to happen to me?
You guys got to keep in mind that people do have lockpicks. They're not exactly rare. And to my knowledge, they lockpick it, get what they want, and then it locks right back via the electronic locks. I'm not saying that's 100% the case here. Obviously, I don't know. I'm not psychic. But that is something to take into account. It takes probably all of 6 or 7 seconds to break into a fucking vehicle.
And to clarify, the L muscle will also lock your car.
No, it will not.
Not even a little bit. 313, please stop speaking.
I was asking a question.
No, you stated, to clarify, this happens.
Okay, I should have asked them.
No, L muscle does not lock car.
Just to clarify,
vehicle
anything
plate
that
lock.
313 says is not valid.
Yet. It will be valid soon.
Mhm.
Because he's such a good boy.
What the fuck? Anything else?
Yeah, I would like to formally request that 313 shave his soul patch. It's not 1997.
Oh
my gosh! I told
yeah,
you.
let me run over real quick.
Not to be a dick, but I want it that way.
Oh,
wow.
Get it?
Man, wow.
my God.
Wow.
Oh, bye.
You should have said bye.
I don't think any of them had soul patches, man.
Yes, they did.
Yes,
Oh,
they
yeah,
did.
yes, they did.
Yes, they did.
100%.
Yes, they did.
Nah, they did.
Pretty sure all of them did.
Yeah, at some
They
point in
put the fucking-
time.
The chin straps.
I
thought that
didn't
was the
finish
thing.
shaving.
That was late in the career, I
Throw
think.
some nair on that shit.
All right. Anything else relevant? Please.
021. You need to invest in some rail gain or wig.
Well, you don't like me being bald?
Well,
We do have showers. Feel free
yeah.
to use them.
To circle back, though, 004, does anything come to mind from your perspective?
No, just set up more speed traps. I don't see it too often. I see a couple officers do it more.
Yeah, I like speed traps as well. The speed traps with like 2 officers usually works really well.
I will say that every time I've set up a speed trap on North Los Santos, right by the way station, I have caught somebody speeding over 100 miles an hour nearly every single time.
Yeah,
Same thing with Strawberry. Strawberry right behind the
I
24/7.
always station right at the car wash, but at the 24/7 works like a charm for stolen vehicle.
Yeah, obviously you'll learn the hot spots for criminal activity. Running radar on the fucking freeway is like 100% easy. If you have like one of the way station, you also have like an officer down at the split up there before the bridge. It's like perfect. You just call to each other if you have anybody coming. It's easier with 2 people. Obviously you can run radar by yourself all the time, but
Yeah, having more than one
if you want to
officer
do like
on
an
a speed
efficient
trap,
speed trap,
it would definitely help because sometimes you'll get guys going like a $160 and there's no way you're gonna catch up to them. But if the guy ahead of you can, then that helps out a lot.
Yeah.
Last thing, dispatch. When you finish responding, unrespond. It might free up some problems you guys have. Because I notice people say, "Oh, sometime dispatch gets a little fuzzy and doesn't, you can't use it properly." I think main difference is I